For this video, I read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and I'm going to talk about 90s dating advice, and we're going to see if it still holds up in 2025.
I spent 1 week reading this 90s classic, and believe me, I was prepared to go to the ends of the earth to improve my understanding of the opposite sex. This book was written by John Gray, an American relationship counselor, lecturer, and author. First published in 1992, it soon became one of the best-selling relationship books of all time.
Just recently, I met a friend and told him that I was about to read this book, and the friend basically went on to say that the book was nothing but a big load of sexism. So I decided I had to give this book a read and make up my own mind about it. We are going to talk about the folklore of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. Centuries before the Martians and Venusians. I literally had to just spend 2 minutes looking up how to say Venusians. They'd been quite happy living in their separate worlds. Then one day everything changed. The Martians and Venusians on their respective planets suddenly became depressed. It was this depression, however, that motivated them eventually to come together. When the Martians became depressed, everyone on the planet left the cities and went to their caves for a long time. They were stuck and couldn't come out until one day when a Martian happened to glimpse the beautiful Venusians. They came out of their caves and began building a fleet of spaceships to fly to Venus. On Venus, to share a problem is a sign of love and trust. Venusians have been known to not only talk about their own problems, but also include the problems of other people. This is a huge contrast to the Martians and the way they deal with problems and stress. On Mars, a Martian thinks, why would I burden another Martian with my problems and my stress?
Hey honey, how's your day been?
When a Martian is upset, he will go into his cave, and there in silence he may watch sports, read the newspaper, or open his toolbox. Only when this problem has been resolved will he dare to leave his cave. This also means that when a Venusian is upset, a Martian has absolutely no idea what to do. Hello everybody and welcome to Mars We Have a Problem. Great to see you all, great to see you all. The only game show where clueless Martians attempt to understand the mysterious ways of Venus. As always, I'm your host Nova Star, and tonight we have one brave contestant ready to test his cosmic knowledge of relationships. Everyone, please welcome Marvin the Martian. It's good to be here. Marvin, are you ready for the challenge? I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Your job is to come up with the best possible response. Get it right and you stay in Earth's orbit, but get it wrong and you crash land back on Mars. Crash land on Mars? I'd rather not travel with a broken rocket again. Now, I'm going to tell you how this game works. I'm going to give you a scenario involving a Venusian, someone who experiences emotions quite different to us Martians. Your Venusian friend is upset because you forgot her birthday. She's visibly emotional. Marvin, what do you do? I've got it. I hide in my cave until she forgets that she was upset. Oh, Marvin, unfortunately that is the worst possible response. Avoidance only makes the Venusians more upset. That's all we have this week from Mars. We have a problem. Unfortunately, Marvin the Martian crash landed back on Mars. But stay tuned for next week. We're going to have many more fresh contestants ready to see if they can pass the test. Every Venusian studies psychology and has at least a bachelor's degree in counselling. This is the first part of the book that I was like, that's a serious generalization. Not all girls are completely in touch with their emotional side, and there's plenty of men who are completely comfortable and easy and able to talk about their emotions and their feelings. One of the main problems that arose when we decided to go to Earth together was that we wanted the opposite sex to be just like us. The most frequent complaint that Venusians made was that the Martians did not listen. And the most frequent complaint that the Martians made were that Venusians were always trying to change them. Oh, okay honey, ready to go. Let's hit the road. Nah, these are just the shoes I always wear. What's wrong with them? What are those? At A big problem between the Martians and the Venusians that when they learned to speak the same language, some words had very different meanings. This one time I went to a museum with a friend, and at the end of the museum trip I asked him, "What did you think of it?" And he said, "It was not bad." For me, it was really interesting because I thought he really enjoyed the museum. And I asked him, if you were to rank not bad out of 10, what would you give it? And he said 8 out of 10. I would have thought if someone said not bad, it would be below average. It would have gotten 4 out of 10. So that was one thing that I began to realize, that my not bad was very different to someone else's not bad. Why do Martians tend to give less in relationships? Martians tend to focus all their energies into work and tend to think that this scores all the points with the Venusians. You might ask, what are these points referring to? When a Martian comes home from work, he feels like he's scored 50 points. But what the Martian did not realize when he came home from work was that the Martians and the Venusians scored their points very, very differently. On Venus, originally everything was scored as 1 point. On Venus, everything is scored as 1 point. A hug, listening, unconditional giving. A Martian comes home from work and thinks he's scored 50 points, but in reality, in a Venusian's eyes, he's just scored 1 point. Now, from reading this book and doing my video, I definitely learned a lot. The biggest thing that I think I will take away and learn from this book, and that is, when dealing with someone who's had a difficult day, it's very easy for me to put on my Mr. Fix-It hat and to try and offer solutions and what they could do better and how to solve the problem. When very often, when someone's had a difficult day, they really just want to talk about their problem and they just want someone to listen to them. I'd like to imagine that in future, if someone comes to me with a problem, I can just listen, and only if they ask me for advice, I would give them advice. So yeah, that's a complete okay to throw down your issues and your problems in the comment section. I'm sure I'll respond to all of them in good time, with amazing precision, and with a Dr. Phil-like level of emotional intelligence. Also leave a comment on what did you think. Do you think I explained it well? Do you think this book was a whole load of sexism? Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video. Everyone, please welcome Marvin the Martian. Strong.